Nokoja?
Hoa.
Osta. Heyanki dudu. Akino he hlai. This is what my grandfather told me. This is the story of Saligugi Usti, little turtle. And there is a lesson to be learned here, so listen carefully. 80 years a long time ago, in a beautiful pond in a valley in North Carolina, there lived a little turtle, Saligugi Usti. And his friend Walosh the frog was there. Achade the fish was there, and they would play and have great times all summer long. But as the fall started to come closer and the leaves started to change colors and they could feel Gola's cold breath, Gola the cold maker, they knew he was coming. They started seeing the geese, Sasa, flying over, and they knew that soon it would be the hunger time. Well, it was during these times when the geese were flying over that Saligugi Usti thought, I want to go with them. I want to fly. I want to go south where it's warm. I want to fly. And he would tell Walosh this. And Walosh the frog would say, you silly turtle, you have no wings, you have no feathers. How do you think you're going to fly? How can you possibly fly? Come on, let's go play. Let's throw some mud. Let's have fun. And they go play for a while, but every now and then Saligugi would see the geese go by. He would stop and wonder and wish he could fly. Well, one day, something special happened. Instead of the geese flying over, they came around and circled, spread their giant arms, their wings, with their finger feathers on the ends, feeling the wind, came in over the treetops and landed on Saligugi's pond, folded their giant wings, and started feeding along the bank because they were on a journey. Saligugi stood there and watched them. Oh, they were beautiful, white with black-tipped feathers. They were big and strong. And he went over to them and he says, teach me how to fly. Please teach me how to fly. And he pulled on their feathers and they said, go away, they said. Sasa said, go away, leave us alone. We have to do this, we have to eat, we have to prepare ourselves. And there's no way you can fly. You have no wings, you have no feathers. What are you talking about, you silly turtle? Go away. Well, that night, all Saligugi could dream of was flying. He saw himself above the clouds. He saw himself flying over the trees and through the valleys. That's what he wanted to do. And the next morning, he woke and had an idea. Turtles, when they grab onto something, they can get a good firm grip on it, can't they? And once they get that stick in their mouth, it's hard to pull it loose, isn't it? Well, he thought if he gets a stick long enough, he can get in the middle and hang on. And those big, strong geese, one on each end, could pick him up and carry him. He wouldn't need feathers. He wouldn't need to have wings. They could take him with them. Boy, he was so excited, he immediately swam over to where Sasa was feeding and started pulling on Sasa's wing and started telling him all about what he wanted to do. And finally, after hours of pestering, Sasa says, all right, go away for now. When we're ready to leave, you be ready with your stick and we will take you with us. Nothing Sasa could have said could have made Saligugi Usti any happier. So he went and he looked all afternoon, got a nice long stick, just perfect, and laid it out there and waited. And as the geese started to take off, Sally took his stick and he got out in the middle of the pond so they'd have plenty of room to get to him. And he held his stick and he waited. And as the geese started to lift off, he put it in his mouth and lifted himself as high as his little neck would reach, and he waited. And he waited there, and then he saw two geese fly behind him, and he knew that soon it would be time. And he closed his eyes and waited, and then, whoom, he was lifted off his rock. And on either end he could see these two big geese, one on each end, with their giant wings pulsing through the air, was lifting him higher. He opened one eye. He could see the clouds passing by. He could look down over the trees. He could see down in the valley. He got so excited, he wanted to thank the geese for taking him, and he opened his mouth. And when he did, he fell all the way down and crashed near a turn of the river. His shell shattered in 100 pieces. His beautiful shell that had once been shiny as a piece of polished wood without a crack in it was now lying in pieces. And Grandfather Wind, Idudu Unole, went into his mind. Grandfather Wind always knows everything we're thinking. And he went into Saligugi Usti's mind and said, "You silly turtle, you have no wings. You have no feathers. Why do you want to fly? You are a turtle, and we need turtles. Turtles are important. Be who you are. Don't try to be what you are not." And Sally, who was laying there, Saligugi Usti, he said, "All right, I agree." And with that, Grandfather started going around in a circle, swirling around, and as he went round and round, slowly all of the pieces came back together, to where now Saligugi Usti's shell looks like it does, like it had been broken and then pulled back together, which it had been. Saligugi Usti climbed back up into his pond with Walosh the frog. He raised his family and his children and his grandchildren and all of his descendants right down to this very day. If you go out to a lake or a stream or a pond on a bright sunshiny day, there you will see the turtles lined up in the sun with their little necks stretched out as far as they can go. Their eyes will be closed and they'll be dreaming about flying, which of course is a lot better to do if you are a turtle. Nigaha.